Well, hello once again, folks. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. Welcome to my bee yard here in southeast Louisiana. Today, folks, I need to go look at a colony that 2 weeks ago I found emergency queen cells in. It was a weak one I was looking at. I had reduced a while back, and I guess when I reduced it, I must have done something, because it was when I was pulling my honey boxes off everything that I noticed it was sitting right next to where I was pulling. I said, well, let me just open it up, see what's happening with it since I've reduced it. And when I opened it, a bunch of emergency cells were in there, and they'd already been chewed out, so the queen had already emerged. But the question is, did she get mated this late? You know, with the drone congregation areas being so sparse, and you know, it's just a limited amount of drones, which gives you an inferior queen. If she got mated, then good. She's, you know, we just see what she can do, and if she can build up enough brood. It's currently 76 degrees today, and we had a cold spell in the 30s for 2 nights. In the mornings right now are in the 40s, but nothing to stop them from laying. Problem is, she just doesn't have time before it really gets cold to build up enough brood to go. But there were quite a few bees in there, so they could survive. If they aren't queen right, then I've got that swarm I caught that, again, another one that won't have time to build up enough brood to really do anything. So that's more of a resource queen at this point. So anyway, kind of a shame. All I'm doing right now is looking through some pretty bad colonies, but that's all there is to do right now this time of year. I leave the good strong ones alone. They're fine. I don't want to take a chance of damaging a queen. I have no reason to go through them and go digging around. That could be an issue. You kill a queen this time of year, we're in the same boat as we are with this colony we're going to look through. So I also have an app I want to go through and check that Justin Ruger had given me, and I showed it to you one other time, and I messed with it for a while, and then I was out of the bees for a little bit, and he just renewed the beta version for me to check out, and he's got some updates, and I'm going to go look at that and show you what that's all about. Also, I got a comment from Bryce way up north telling me in the last video where we reduced a colony, I couldn't get the queen to stay in. She ran twice. Apparently I thought I had smoked her down, and I watched her go down, but while I was messing with frames, he spotted her, and you can go back and look at that video at 9.12, 9 minutes 12 seconds in. She appears to be running across the top of the box out the side and jumps off on the frames that I actually ended up putting in the back of the truck. So there's a chance that one out there is queenless. So they were pretty poor anyway, so it's not like it's going to be a great loss, but I need to go out and look at that. But I won't do that today. Maybe I'll make a separate video, or I don't know, or I'll let you know what happens. So I'm going to get my stuff, and we're going to go out and look at this video. Look at this video. Look at this hive real quick. See what's going on, if it's going to need that little swarm nuke that I caught in that tree over there. It'd be fine. It'd be perfect, actually. A match made in heaven. A queenless colony this time of year, needing a queen, and I got a queen. So let's see what we find. I might go in there and find a queen. So something else I like to do anytime I'm out here this time of year, as we're going into winter, is just check stores. Bees are flying. I think the flow is over. I need to be very careful I don't get in here and let any robbing begin when I get into this one colony we're going to go to. But I like to feel the weight of the colonies anytime it's getting close to winter, because just got to make sure they're heavy. They bulked up pretty well. This particular single on the end right here, it was very, very light. Put a feeder on it, got them through the rest of the dearth and the drought, which we're back in another drought, folks. And the goldenrod really came in strong, but it's wrapping up now. But they bulked up really well in this particular colony. It really got heavy. It bulked up really good, so I know the flow came in well. But it's nothing more than heaving the backs of the colonies to see how heavy they are. Yeah, they put a lot of honey on. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah. That last colony, the third one over there, it's that one that had to bounce back from the terrible varroa infestation. And all the bees are pretty much at the top. It's not got tons of bees on the front because it was so weak, but it's growing, but it is kind of light. But I also know there's not a ton of bees. So that'll be one I mark as knowing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna move this brick over, and I'll put this brick right here to tell me that I need to keep an eye on this one. I'll put that brick facing that way. That's usually my sign for a problem. The bees are on the outside. They're up in the top. Got these little entrances they're guarding. Gotta watch they don't get a light on me. Activity is pretty good. This one's pretty weak, but it's doing well. I don't know why that one doesn't have that many bees. That should be doing good. This one, very, very busy. Golly. Another one where the one on the end is light. But light, when I say light, it's light to the point where I need to watch them around December to January. They might be getting a little lighter or too light. They're not like super heavy. Probably about 30 to 40 pounds of honey or so in the box. So that could be good or it may not be enough. But I just watch them. That's what I do. Just walk out here and tug on the backs. Let's go look at this little single and see if they got a queen or not. There weren't a lot of bees. I said there was enough bees, but there would have been enough to survive, but it wasn't like it was doing super great. I really have quite a few. I'd say there's probably 5 or so colonies that are very, very weak. And that's just unfortunate this time of year, but I really think the drought, I underestimated the drought, and I think it had a pretty detrimental effect. Now these bees are all shifted over. This time of year when robbing begins to be a problem, they can be pretty nasty. They know when the threat's out there, and you start digging around, they can get pretty ugly, especially when they're stressed. This thing's got a lot of honey in it. Look at that, that's just one of them. Gosh, it smells like goldenrod too, golly. Yeah, so they had a bunch of emergency cells. They're pretty calm and gathered on this one side. I don't have my flashlight with me, but I got some good sunshine. Very, very strong goldenrod smell to them. And the flow, I really think we had a good flow. A lot of the colonies bulked up. I'd be on the lookout for a queen. He has a full frame of nectar. A lot of aster and some little white flowers blooming as well. So I want to use my accessible beekeeping app, and I'm going to look at that now. I'm going to show it to you guys. Justin Ruger is coming out with this. So it's called Be My Hive Inspector, and as I understand it, what it does, I can take photos with it. It also has a live view, and I'll show it to you. And the live view will show you what you're actually looking at right then and there. It identifies stuff on the hive like queen bee top left. It can do brood, uncapped, capped honey. And what it does, it zeroes in on some of this stuff and it identifies it for the person. Also, you take pictures and go back and analyze what you saw in the colony. And Justin Ruger is really working hard on accessible beekeeping. I know he's been speaking lately on accessible beekeeping for those that have disabilities, that are maybe unable to go into hives the traditional way. We take for granted just sitting here and hopping on a stool or walking and bending over and all that. And he's actually looked into long langs that are that rotate, you know, so that you can pull hive sideways from, say, maybe a wheelchair or something like that. So he's really taken it to heart, and he's come out with this app to try it. He allowed me to try it, and some of you may know Justin. I think a lot of you know him, and I'm sure most of you also remember that Justin is well known for his writing of a children's book, and he's got several now, if I'm not mistaken. But Henry Meets a Honeybee. That was the first one. Very, very well illustrated books, age appropriate illustrations. Talks about honeybees and the life of the honeybees. Very good book for children. He's got several out there. You can find them on Amazon, and I'll show a picture of it. He also had his second book that came out. You can look him up. Just if you'll search on Amazon, Justin Ruger, and he'll come up. But really, more importantly, right now, he is spearheading accessible beekeeping. And again, he's been speaking on it. So let me get in here and show you this app a little bit. I want to play with it some. Let me get into this colony a little bit, see if we've got a queen right colony, and also check this app out. So here's the app. This is the live view. Let's just pull this honey frame up and see what it comes up to be. So this is a capped frame of honey. Oh, it's heavy. Let's see what it does. Yeah, look at there. All right, see? Up, capped honey. Let me back out. There it is. Can y'all see that? So it's saying capped honey top left. It's all capped honey. It identifies the capped honey. That's pretty cool. Now let's go in here and see what it does for brood. It was having some issues when I did it before, but I want to check it out. We do want to see if we got a queen. We do have a reason to be in here. You don't want to just play around too long, but I don't consider it playing around because I'm trying this app out for him. He's got others trying it out for him as well. Here's some polished cells. We're gonna see what this app shows us in a second on this, but these are all polished out. Oh, look at there, it's full of eggs. So we have a queen in here. I don't need to move that swarm over, so that kind of makes me wonder what I'm gonna do with that swarm now. Oh, there's the queen. There's our brand new queen. You see her? I see her. Let's look at what this app does. Let's back out. It's showing me pollen right there. Pollen, there it is, pollen. So it's identifying pollen. Empty comb. Empty comb. I want to see if it'll catch that queen. A minute ago it did. It caught the queen for just a second. And I thought that was cool. But I can't find her now. I let her get out of my sight. There she is. She's on the other side. Here she is. It caught her. It caught her. It caught her. There it is. It just caught her. Oh, you can't see it now. It just caught her. It said Queen Bee. There it is. Come on, go back. I seen it. It just did it. There it is. It just popped up. Cool. It just popped up as Queen Bee. It's showing larvae. So this is the live view. This isn't analyzing the photos. This is what it's showing live. I'm going to take some pictures. So it lets me take a photo. I'm going to take a photo of my queen real quick. Okay, I took a photo of the queen and it should analyze it later. I'm gonna put her back. I don't want to harm her. Good to see brood in there. Good to see a queen. So there's enough bees to survive, and she'll lay some brood. If we don't have too many cold evenings, she'll be fine the next few days. There's some brood right there that she's laid already. So she must have been just getting mated when I was in here last time. So look at this app. We're gonna put use photo. It's got a queen. So when I hit analyze, it picked out the queen on here. Now, my only issue, I need to get with Justin and see, it's not saving it to my photo roll, but what you're supposed to be able to do also is select a photo and goes to your photos. And then you pick the ones you took. So I'm gonna take some photos and see what it does. But I'm getting some curious bees. I think we may have some field bees looking around. I'm gonna take some pictures with this app and see what it does. I got brood right here. I wanna take a picture of this frame. Okay, so that's what I did. I took some pictures. This is a queen right colony. She's got brood. If we don't freeze, which I don't think we're scheduled to freeze for a few days, at least a couple weeks, I would imagine, this will come on out and we'll be all right. These numbers will be fine. This colony will be okay. I want to move this very carefully back so I don't hurt my queen. We're going to close it up. I see a lot of curious bees. We don't want to begin robbing for sure. And they can smell this honey when the dearth is on. So how did it work? I think I was doing it wrong when he first sent it to me. So All right, so what the app does, it tells me I can take a photo. And so I take a photo and can then analyze this photo. It says I can upload an image too. So let's analyze it. Now, video analyst, I did not mess with that. It would like access to my photo library. I wonder, allow full access. So you can actually load a video here. I think that's neat. I am going to go to photo analysis. Again, this is the photo I took with the app, and if I hit analyze, it analyzes the photo, and if you can see that, it shows you the queen bee. So say somebody is struggling with identification, maybe it's impaired vision, you know, this app is going to allow you to take pictures. Now let's look. I can go select photo. So let's select a photo. Now, the pictures I took in my app, in my phone, I'm going to select. All right, now it's in the app. Now I can analyze this photo. Analyze. I'm uploading this to his site, I think, is what I'm doing. And I think it shares it, I believe. I'm going to have to ask Josh, I think it shares it so that people can analyze it as well. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But I just uploaded it to his site. Photo allows you to load the photos. Analyze allows you to run the detection on the photo. So basically, if you see the example here, it shows you how it picks out things on the frame for a person to identify. Analyze it, and it picks out all the worker bees. I think that's pretty neat. And so Justin's doing a good work. I thank him for letting me try this. I hope I'm helping him some. I'm going to upload these images, and I hope it's uploading to his database, but I'm going to talk with him a little bit more. But that was a secondary reason to be out here, was to really check this thing out a little further and a little deeper. I got to go in a hive in town. I'm going to use it again. So you can see bees that the honey frame was here. They had found it. Now they're looking for it. So we don't want to get this deep into it. This is not a good thing. We opened it and kept it open a little bit too long. The flow is definitely over, and bees are out trying to find food. I've been getting a lot of questions about Hive Alive. Do I like Hive Alive? And a lot, I mean, there's probably been a dozen people ask me, and that's a lot for me. I don't have those gigantic channels like Mr. Ed does, even though he calls me world famous. I have been getting some questions about it. I gotta tell you, here's what I like. I bought Hive Alive at first because it was fondant. I wanted fondant. Years ago, I watched videos about the fondant they use in Europe, and it was a nice pliable fondant. It was cooked down. It was inverted sugar, which means they can consume it right now. No granulated sugar to convert, no granulated sugar to break down. You know, what I'm talking about is putting granulated sugar or sugar bricks over hives early in the season as insurance or for emergency feeding or whatever it may be. Fondant was a consumable right then and there, and Hive Alive had the nutrient supplement in it. So I said, wow. It came to the US, I said, wow, I really wanted it for the fondant. But to get the added benefit of a supplement was even better. I have some liquid. I have that. This season, this spring, I'm planning on, because we went into winter weaker than normal, I'm planning on getting some pollen patties from Hive Alive. They are the actual global patties, and they have different percentages of pollen in them. You can choose from two, depending on which one you want. And I'm going to try and do smaller doses so I don't have small hive beetle problems and get them incorporated into these colonies. But I'm asked about it. Do I like it? Yes, I like it, because I believe the research I read, and I've met the developers. I have no reason to doubt them. Do I have measurable results of Hive Alive? No, I don't. I can't. So I don't. That's not tell people that. I can't tell you that it's the best thing ever, because I haven't had measurable results. In other words, I haven't taken the time to do measurable tests. Do I see a vibrancy in the bees when I feed them? Yes. 2 years ago, when I first used the fondant, I saw a nuke really come along great early February after putting the fondant on, compared to another one that didn't do quite as good. But you know, it could have been genetic strength. It could have been a lot of things. So I can't say and point to that going, yes, Hive Alive is the product. But yeah, I do like it. I like the developers. I like what they're offering for their research and their test results. I like that there is a lot of good nutrient in it as well. And I like the convenience of it, as far as ordering, as far as how it's implemented into the subs, both the fondant and the pollen. and how they teamed up with Global Pollen Patties, which is the pollen patty out there. It's got the highest concentration of real pollen in it. And I like how they're out there willing to put their product to the beekeeper to say, hey, put it to the test. We're confident in our product. So yeah, I do like Hive Alive. I like it. So there you go. That's my take on it. So the question's asking me, I can't tell you measurable results because I haven't done measurable tests. It's that simple. I wanted to get it in the colonies for the winter, the liquid version of it, through some feed, but my colonies are so heavy, I still may put some 2-to-1, just one tub of it out there to get the Hive Alive in their guts, in their colonies, so we don't have any dysentery or nosema or anything like that. Just because we have weak colonies going into winter, weaker than normal. I'm not saying they're dying, but they're weaker than normal. So there you go. That's my take on Hive Alive. All right, so another plug for Justin. Don't forget to go check out his children's books on Amazon. Just search Justin Ruger or Henry Meets a Honeybee or any of those, and you'll find his books. Christmas is coming. Be a great gift for the little ones, and a chance to maybe do some story time at a school or a library where you can educate the young folks on the honeybees. And I hope to do a little bit more with his app before the season completely ends and we can't get in the hives anymore. So unfortunately, I'm only going through weak hives at this point. Again, don't want to be busting into no good hives and damage a queen this late in the season. So although I have a queen I can use. All right, guys, well, I appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed this little video. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful week and may God bless you. Thank you so much for all your support. We'll see y'all in the next one. She does not want to be in here. That's pretty amazing. She didn't want to be in there. Yeah, here I am. There's that swarm nuke on top of the colony I could reduced in the video. If you look between like 9:10 and 9:20, somewhere in there, you'll see that queen. She runs across the front of that thing. She goes across right up here and goes and jumps out the box. Look real careful a couple times over. You'll see her. She sure enough dives right out. Bryce up north spotted that. So I came immediately out here after I read his comment. I did that quick inspection home and ran out here, and sure enough, they're queenless. Opened them up and they were roaring. So no emergency cells because she was garbage anyway, I guess. So it's really not the end of the world. But there's the swarm right there. That's the swarm we caught with the everything vac. So I flip-flopped the top. Now her bees are trying to go on the top. They had a crack up there, but put newspaper in there. I definitely wanted a newspaper combine. I want them to really chew through and kind of get used to each other slow. And took the nuke lid, moved it over to the left, and there we go. I'm just gonna leave it like that for a few weeks. They'll be fine. There's barely any bees in that swarm, so they had to have something. And there's probably two to three frames of bees in the bottom. So combined with the 1 or 2 frames in the top, we should be okay.